Hello, this is Hilda, your Hilda from Hilda's Shoulder. Hilda is a podcaster, storyteller, agony aunt, and a relationship enthusiast. If this is your first time tuning in, you should know that Hilda is very, very passionate about Niger relationships. Relationships meaning dating and marriage. Now, today's topic is rape in Nigerian marriages. I did say in one of my first podcasts that in some jurisdictions a husband can rape a wife, but in Nigeria that is really not the case. Not only is it not the case in legislation, it is not the case even in culture. Now I did a little bit of research. I went to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia defines rape as sexual assault that may be sexual intercourse or sexual penetration. So that definition, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty wide. It includes a lot of things. In Nigeria, you have both the penal code and the criminal code. The penal code is law, the criminal law that governs the north, and the criminal code is the law that governs the south. Now, in both the penal code and the criminal code, rape is non-consensual intercourse that there's a penetration of the vagina. So the definition of rape just has to do with intrusion into the vagina. So it is not taking into consideration all the other things that I believe should qualify as rape. So that means that if a man sexually assaults a woman and he does it through her anus, it does not qualify as rape. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Now, if you've been listening to my podcast, you also remember, you know that I always talk about culture, because our culture is everything. Culture is a way of life. It's the way we talk. It's our behavior. It's our interaction. It's the way we respond to things. It's everything. And culture always plays out in our marriages and our relationships, because it has to do with all the expectations we have of each other. If society says these are the roles of a woman, these are the roles of a man should read a newspaper and not help out at home, and that is the way it will be. So culture, in this particular case, culture does not see it possible that a man, a husband who has paid bride price for his wife, can rape his own wife. And even the women themselves will never come out to say that my husband has raped me if they had a chance, because socially speaking or culturally speaking, it cannot happen. And even if there were one or two who could come out, it would take a lot for them, because there's this big shame thing that culture has pinned on women to make them feel that it is not right, to say such things that are supposed to be in the bedroom, to bring them out into the public. So anyway, we now see that the more Western laws, some of the Western laws, because I don't know how many countries share the definition of Wikipedia. They have a broader explanation of what rape is. We have a narrower definition of it, and I guess it's not really far-fetched. I guess it's because it's the same old laws we've had since 1900. Anyway, back to our discussion. Enough of the low class. Anyway, I just did that so that you could get a background of how the law is and what our culture says. I listened to a radio interview, I think it was last week, and one of the guests said something very interesting, and when he said, I said, I needed to share this with you. He said that culture has pruned our women to believe that when they get married, their job is just to please the husband. Culture does not prepare you to be pleased by a man, by your husband. Likewise, the young man grows up knowing that, oh, mom is the nurturer, she cooks the food, takes care of us, she should be respected. He grows, he gets older, he sees the wife of another man and says, oh, I must respect this man's wife because of that other man, and not necessarily because of the woman as a person. So he gets, boy meets girl, boy marries girl, pay the bride price and everything, takes her home. The expectation that culture has put upon him is that he can take her anytime he wishes, except of course maybe when she's on or something. But as far as he's concerned, I don't even need to ask her much. Culture has packaged the man to believe that there is no such thing as I'm not in the mood. Or there's no such thing as a man really getting gruff and rough and then having sex with his, raping his wife. But I just ask myself, why would a man not want his woman to give it to him willingly, lovingly? It's so much fun. The word love making. I think of love making and I think of baking a cake. The way you put the flour together, you put the eggs, put the milk, sugar, it's all a process. It's a process that takes time, and it's a process that must be done for you to get the desired result, which is to have a perfect cake. So love making is like that. Love making is the same way, the same principle, putting things together, putting feelings together, putting touching together, putting yearning together, putting desires together to achieve an orgasm. The orgasm is unison, it's a union. And whether you come one after the other or you come together, the issue is that there is a bond. But what you have in a lot of cases is the man feeling that this woman is mine, look, stock and barrel. I mean, what discussion are we having? But times have changed. A lot of things have changed, and women are more expressive than they are. Not all of them may be able to put that expression in words to say, oh honey, whether you didn't do it well, oh I wasn't ready, or I need you to touch me in this particular way. A lot of women are just quiet, they just bear it. But what the men do not understand is that if you discover the good parts of a woman, the parts that make her get more in the mood, if you discover what those parts are, she will take a bullet for you, not literally. So it starts with the couple, whether married or dating, exploring their bodies to know which parts work and which parts don't. It's not a case of open your legs, discovering each other's parts, he touching her, she touching him. And when they discover the parts, there is just bliss. So Nigerian men, you're well educated, do the research, engage your partner, engage your wife, discover her spots. If she doesn't know her spots, both of you sit down, take the time and find out the spots. Every woman has a spot or spots. Very interestingly, I had a discussion with a friend, and she told me that I think she has about 4 children. She told me that she has never had an orgasm. She doesn't even understand what it means. It's the same thing, because she has taken the love making to be a duty. So she's just there while her husband pounds away, and so that's the reality for many Nigerian women. So in fact, a woman can be raped by her husband if the husband forcibly, as far as I am concerned anyway, forcibly has intercourse with her. Why? He does not need to do so. It's completely unnecessary. So I would say, get to know each other, better, get to know each other's bodies. And for the women, you do your research as well. Stop tying a wrapper and all of that. Stop be a little more receptive, and even if you're a little dry, there's some things you can use to lubricate yourself to please your husband and get pleased. So that's my word for today. As usual, this is what I always say at the end of my show. Hilda is on social media. It's on Facebook, it's on Twitter and Instagram. So you just search for Hilda's Shoulder. You can also check out a lot of the stuff I do on my website. It's www.hildasshoulder.com.ng. Hilda's Shoulder is spelled as HILDASSHOULDER. So, like me, like my page, follow me, and check out the website. There's so much stuff there for you to read. So, this is where I say bye-bye.